Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's Charlotte here. Welcome to my home. Are we ready to cut this up? I am so excited. It was hard for me to just literally have to wait. So let me get some of this stuff out of the way. We don't need it. And let me get my cutting board. I can see right here where I've got some washi tape that doesn't want to stick, so that's going to probably have to be glued down. So what I am going to do is turn this over, and I want to start on this end. So we are going to cut it this way just so I don't know what we're getting. It will be a complete surprise, and I'm going to cut this at 2.5. I think all the way across until we just can't do 2.5. See if I can get a cleaner cut. There we go. So there's our second strip. And when I look at this, I see this is going to be quite large. So if I bump this up to 3, I could get more tags. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bump this up to 3 inches. Here's my third piece and my last piece. So let's see. I bumped that up to 3 inches because I just thought, unless I wanted a journal card, that was going to be pretty wide. So let's take it one at a time. This is the piece that came up, but that's no problem at all. We can glue this right down. Of course, the glue doesn't want to cooperate. That is pretty standard. There we go. So it comes all the way down. So let's get that down. And then let's have a look at what we've got as far as patterns. You remember what the board looked like. So we've got this piece here. This is really pretty. Lots of possibilities. And then we're going to cut this again. Then we've got this piece here. And like I had mentioned, there is a piece of that butterfly. But isn't it pretty? I mean, you look at that and you're not thinking, well, what was that? No, really pretty. And here is the piece that had the butterfly, and we have a majority of the butterfly. And this is where I have to look at this and think, okay, if I cut this in half, I am going to cut the butterfly right in half. So do I want the butterfly? Do I want a smaller tag here and a larger tag here? This could probably end up being like a tuck on a page or a pocket. So there's a decision for me here. And then here is the last page here. And I think that's really pretty too. And you can see I did cut just a piece of that rub-on off, which would be here, but you don't notice it, not at all. This rub-on made it. This did not. That got cut in half, so that technically should be here, and you don't notice that, so that is not a big deal. The washi tape being cut is not a big deal. So let's go ahead and cut these into tags. And this is where I kind of look at them and think, okay, where are we cutting here? This is where I really can make my choice. And I think I could just eyeball this and really, I think I'm going to go right below that butterfly wing and cut it there. So now this is my tag, this is my second tag, and they're so completely different, which is what I absolutely love. And then we come to this one here. And I think, so I am going to cut this like right there. Let's see what we've got here. Two completely, this is what's so amazing. They're just completely different. Just you would never know. So then when we get to this piece, it's decision time. This would make a really pretty tuck in a journal, but it's wide. And so you have to kind of ask yourself, is it too wide? Do we want like a small tag here that could be a tuck? I think for a page, this 3 inches is pretty wide. I could cut this and make a journal card. I'm wondering if I cut this in half. I think I am going to cut this in half, which is going to put us right through that butterfly, but it's okay. Let's see what we get if we do that. That's really pretty. Even though we've cut that butterfly off, look at how pretty that tag is. And this one as well. It's pretty. So it really didn't, I don't think it really matters. It's not that big a deal. Let's cut this one. And I think I am going to cut really right through that pink flower. And you notice I'm not measuring, and I'm very happy with what we got. So now we're going to look at these, and we're going to think about decorating them. So let's start with the smaller tags first. Let's turn this over. And I think this really was the beginning. And I see where the washi tape is coming up. So we have that issue right here. We're coming up. So let's put some glue on that, because we don't want that to happen. Get that down. Now, ephemera wise, what do we have? We've got this piece here, and then we've got these here. So let me see. I've got all kinds of bits and pieces of chipboard. I've got wood. I have this wooden butterfly. I've got some Tim Holtz pieces. I brought over this snippet of lace that I had left over. I've got the paper doll dog. And then I've got bags of things. So let's just, I've got some butterflies, and I do have, I don't know if the colors on these will work at all, but I have some cutouts, some die cuts. So let's see what we can do based on really color is, I think, what I'm going to be looking at. I like the fact that I've got a lot of that metal. This was from the lavender line. And I like that I've got the metal. I see a little piece here that can be poked out. So let me see. Because this is pale, this is pretty pale with not a lot of color. I'm thinking the metal might brighten her up. But when I put it down like that, I'm not real fond of that. So, I don't know that that's going to work. I do have a wooden piece here that's a roses. Don't quite care for that. Don't like that. I mean, this is what I have to do. I just have to go through them and concentrate on what we are going to do with this. So this might, like a Tim Holtz butterfly, and maybe a flower. Let me get the butterfly. Let's go through what we've got here. You know, I'm going to end up with a lot of stuff sitting here. Here is a butterfly, but that's not the right color. Let's see what we've got in this. We know we don't want any of that. That's too big. There is something that is going to be absolutely perfect for this. I just have to find it. Here's a butterfly, way too yellow. Sorry guys, but I know that there is something that will work. And it's not any of this. This is all way too big. But I do have, it's too big. I do like that. Let's see. This is very similar, and if I popped it up, and depending upon what I put up, I think if I put a hanger on here, we've got ribbon there, so I'm wondering, I could put an adore thee. The colors just don't look right to me though, so I don't really care for that. I could put a bingo chip up there. And this, okay, I am going to go get some labels. I'll be out. Sometimes labels will help you out a lot. So my issue is this right here, and I really couldn't even tell you why. It's just, it's too plain, I think, and so I don't like that. I have used up a lot of my Tracy Fox labels. Now keep in mind, this is probably going to have an eyelet, and if I do that, it's going to go right through that label unless I decide, if I use this, not to put a standard eyelet in there and just have this as a tag like this, and that's a possibility. So if I have that there like that and prop this up, I think that makes a really pretty tag. Or I could put my eyelet off to the side. So the 10 days really kind of takes care of the issue I'm having with that particular spot. And I don't see anything smaller to be able to have. There's an itty bitty one right there. And then there's this one that's red. I think I like the brown one better. Yeah. So I'm going to put this down, and then I might just put that number 3 just for something else. Although I don't usually like to do even numbers. But let's put 10 days here, and this more than likely will not have a eyelet attached to it. And we've got the number 3. I'm going to put, unless I lose it, the number 3 right up there, just for a little bit more visual interest. Just like that. And then I'm thinking we're going to put this there. and I'm going to pop it up because I like that. So I've got my, hey Maggie, hey Maggie, I've got my roll of tape. Remember when I first pulled it out, I got comments, that's going to last you forever. We're getting smaller. We are getting smaller. And I am going to double pop it so it stands up just a little bit higher. And when you do that, you have to keep in mind, will it fit in a pocket? So when you create these, you've got to keep that in mind, although you always could put it off to the side with a clip, and that works really, really well. So I think I'm going to put it right like that. Hold that down, but you can see how much that's popped up, but it's pretty. I'm happy with that. Look at that. That's really pretty. I might go over this just a little bit with some more distress ink, just to make it just a tad bit darker. But that's a pretty tag right there. So we've got that one. Then we've got this one here. This one's got a lot more color to it. And I can see a little bit of a fairy in there. And so where do we want to go with this? And you know, you don't have to do anything with these. You can leave them. They don't have to have really anything extra, but I usually like to enhance them just a little bit. I like to add just a little something outside the box, something that you're not expecting. That's really pretty. I think I'm going to put that there for sure. And then we'll see. And if any of you are interested, this came from Hobby Lobby by the yard. And then let's see if we've got anything else we can put on this. It's busy enough that I'm not really certain it needs any more. I might come back and round the corners on this. And as I say that, I'm like, okay, if you're asking me why, I don't know. I just feel like maybe it could use some rounded corners. But it's so busy that I don't know that it really needs anything else. You just have to play around, and you know, you have to ask yourself, am I adding something just to add something, or is it enhancing the tag, or do I just want to put more on? And because you don't want to do that. You don't want to just put something on just to put something on. You want there to be a purpose. And I really like this fairy, so I'm not very excited to hide her. I don't know why. I mean, you could be looking at this and saying, I don't even see a fairy. She's right there, and I don't think that I want to hide her. I'm going to call this done because I just think that I want to round the corners on this. And I want to round the corners on this. So I want to round the corners on this, so let me round this off. There, I really like that a lot more. I can't tell you why. And I think I'll probably put a little bit more distress ink on this as well. And then on this one, I think I'm going to cut it so that it is more a tag shape. So let's cut the corners. I don't always cut the corners on my tags. Many of my tags I will leave. Okay, this one might look good with this, but it doesn't. How about this brown? It doesn't do anything. It completely disappears. We have a touch of that napkin up there, and so I think bringing that color out would be really nice. So let me see if I've got anything in here. Well, I kind of like that and that. Let's see, do I have anything else? That's pretty big. I've got so much in front of me. I think I've got too much in front of me. There's too many choices. So let's just go through what we could do. We could put that there that brings up that blue. I am thinking if I pop this up just once and pop this up twice, that would be really pretty. And we've got a little cupcake up there. Let's do that. Let's pop this up, this flower up once, and pop the butterfly up twice. And if you don't have ephemera like this, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You can go through magazines and books and cut out all sorts of cool things. You don't have to have a lot of stuff. And like I mentioned before, you don't have to do anything to these tags. You can just add like a bit of lace here and there, and you'll be good to go. There's enough texture in these tags with all the collaging that they are good the way they are. If you like to do stencil work, you can stencil over the tags. If you like stencil and texture paste, you can add that. You don't have to have a lot of stuff to be able to create some really, really pretty tags. Okay, how about this? Move him down just a tiny bit. So by the time, if I put a eyelid up here with blue ribbon or lace, that's a pretty tag right there. So I am happy with that. Then we have this one here, and I think I will cut the corners off of this one as well. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you can do. Okay, I'm looking at this, and for some reason, I would like the clock idea, but that is all wrong. I don't have a clock that's gonna fit. I do like that wooden butterfly. I have taken these wooden butterflies before and I have put some Tim Holtz embossing glaze on them, and you really can't see the embossing glaze, so you really can't change the color. Maybe if you painted them, gessoed them, and then painted them. But I kind of like that, just like that. Let me see. Where did I put my... You're probably looking right at them, wondering my labels. Because I've got this spot right there. I kind of like that. This one I think might be too big. Let's see. See what I've got. I've just about used up all my labels. Let's see here. Maybe that goes like that. I think I'm going to do that. I like that. So I think, and of course I like it, and then you have to play around with it a little bit more. Maybe I like that better. Yeah, let's do this. So let's put these labels on there. I mean, this is what I mean. You can go through a book or a magazine and cut out words. If you have rub-ons, use your rub-ons. Use your supplies, whatever they are. Die cuts, buttons even. Thread, pieces of thread. I like that. So do I want, you know, sometimes it can just be too much. You want to keep going and it can just get to be too much. When I don't want to spell Mo. I don't want that. There's a jar of hearts. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I kind of like that. That doesn't fit. This does not fit at all. But I kind of like the jar of hearts. Why? Why? I'm asking myself, why do you like that? I don't know, but I kind of do. It's just, it's bizarre, but I kind of like it, which is just too strange. Now that has a blue bird. Let's see, how's he flying? He flies like that, I think. Of course, got north at the top. I do kind of like that, but it needs something. It just needs a little something. And I wonder, let me cut one of these guys out and see. Sorry, guys. You don't want to sit here and watch me fussy cut anything. I don't blame you. But I'm thinking it might be faster. Fussy cut this little guy out and see if he'll work. And he's going to lose his antenna. Sorry, little guy. Now let's see if this will work. Yeah, I kind of like it. I feel like he needs string or something under him. I really want to use this. Maybe do it like that. Let's do that. Let's do it and see what it looks like. So this is a little wooden piece. And then let's set this right off his side. Fluff him up a little bit, just like that. That's pretty cute. And then this will have a ribbon, but I really think it could use a die cut. I like that. I don't think that's gonna work. Let's try this one. That's too dark. And I really believe this is too white. Let's try it. Yeah. Just doesn't show up much. I think it may just be the wrong. Yeah, I'm not liking that. But I want something there. Oh, what do we have? I've got some little minis. Should I pull the little minis out? Let's pull these little minis out. Let's see what I've got. It never ends, guys. Do you see that? It just never ends. Goes on and on and on. I've got one butterfly. I don't know that I want another. But this is what I do. You know, when you're playing around with these, this literally is what you do. You pull your stuff out and you try to get it all together. That's kind of cute. It might be too big. Here's a smaller one. Here's the flower. No, I kind of like this. It brings the yellow up from the yellow that's in the wings. So let's put this on there and call this done. Oh, bless your hearts for sticking it out with me. If you're still here, I'm amazed. But that's cute. That's cute. That's a cute tag. What do you think, guys? I mean, we could just keep going and going and going. But at some point, you just have to say enough is enough. And let's do one more. And then I'm going to let you go because you're probably like, is this ever going to end? Is this ever going to end? This has this work on here. That just might work. And then I will finish all of these off camera. And then, of course, I have to glue paper on the back so you can write. And do we want to clip these corners? We will lose the cloche here, and we will lose this if we clip the corners. So I'm thinking probably not. That just does nothing. We can put these away because that does absolutely nothing for this tag. Nothing at all. This is the way that the papers are on here. Very rustic looking. And I think this butterfly is probably perfect for this. Here I am back to the clock again. Let me get some of this out of here because I've got so much I can't think. I think one of the best things Tim Holtz did was come up with these little minis. The little mini ephemera. It's just too cute. Look at that. Just too cute. All right, let's get serious here. What are we going to do with you? So, we are back to, let's get some of this and see what we can come up with. I don't think so. Although I kind of like it, but no. I kind of like that, but no. No. Way too big. So I think we can eliminate. I don't think yellow daisies are going to do it. It's kind of cute though. Sometimes this is where you can really pull out a large piece of your ephemera. We've got a butterfly right here. Do we want to cover it up? That's really kind of the question. Do we care if we cover it up? I really kind of like this. Let's see. See if we can do something better. If I do that, I will cover that butterfly right up. Do I care? Well, once he's gone, probably not. I really like this. I like the butterfly and I like that shiny bit. And so I like the texture that we have down here. And so I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, I should leave this alone and do nothing with it. Okay, I do like this though. I do like this. You know, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to lose this butterfly, but I really like the look of this. And this will have an eyelet. And so, paper doll doesn't show up. Not really into that. Do I want to sacrifice the butterfly? I think I will. I think I will just because I think that looks so pretty, but I'm only going to pop it up with one layer. So let's pop this up. I think this video is probably getting way too long. Let's pop this up and let's see. Let's do a recap of what we've got. But you can see it takes a while. It takes planning and thought. You just can't help it. You got to figure it out. But when it's all together, when we get the ribbons and the eyelets on, bye butterfly, I know you're there. What I like about this is you can still get the metal look off of that upper right hand piece of paper. You can still get the texture at the bottom, and you can still see that this is from Medieval Mirage. The only thing we've done is we've lost that butterfly, but this is pretty. I think I made the right decision. I think this looks good, and I don't think that I want to add. Well, I say that, and then I do something like that. See, guys, that's what I mean. You can just keep going and going and going, and I think that your card, your tag, will just continue to improve. Ooh, I kind of like that. What do you think about that? Oh, I'm going to do it. I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. So this is going to take some of this here. And I think I'll have the wing come off the page. And we haven't lost anything. So, yeah, I think that they were made for each other right here. That was, I think, a good choice. So let me get this out of the way. Let's look at what we've got. So we created this. We did these 5 tags, but we've got these 3 to go. So I will work on these and I will finish these, but look at this. They're so pretty. They came from just a Cheerio box and a bunch of scraps that typically you probably would just throw away anyhow. And look at what we've got. So I will put the ribbons on these and I will finish the others. And I know that there are several of you that are doing this with me. So I hope that you're enjoying your process and that you absolutely love your tags. Have a really, really great Thursday, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for staying with me, guys. Bye.